Alright, so some important things to keep in mind. This is a peaceful protest.
They buy solar panels in bulk. They had great assets. They got companies who could work in one neighborhood, saving travel expenses, and they made solar panels affordable for that neighborhood. We in Blacksburg were the first community in Virginia to do that, and we've had an incredibly successful program. People all over the state come to us and ask us how to start that. Myself and I participated in Solarized Blacksburg, and we put panels on our garage. Anybody want to guess what our electric bill at its lowest was since we did that? 1 penny. 1 penny. Get our mayor to raise her hand. She is out there in the crowd today. Way over there. We're doing today. We have to organize locally, statewide, nationally, and international. We have to be all part of addressing climate change. And one of the most important things that you can do, besides the actions that are being talked about today, is getting out to vote. I have a button. It says, vote like your life depends on it. And that is absolutely true. At all levels of office who care about climate change, who want to do something to stop and to address climate change. And if they're not into that, they're in our way. And we have to vote them out of office and put in people who will help us out. So again, voting is incredibly, incredibly important. When do we want it? Now! What do you want? Action! When do you want it? Now! What do you want? Action! When do you want it? Now! Who's gonna act? We are! When? Now! Who's gonna act? We are! When? Now! Who's gonna act? We are! When? Now! You all are awesome. You keep this energy up. Thank you.
Way to go, Blacksburg. Way to go, students. Way to go, Blacksburg High and Virginia Tech. I'm Anthony Zuckerman. I'm from Abingdon. I have an organic farm. And I work with communities. Here's the thing I want to say to you. We're at this point of needing an international strike for some obvious reasons. First of all, a Congress that is utterly dysfunctional with so many people. Treadmill that they can't get off. We have an alternative. We can build together, we can build economies that actually create real prosperity, real wealth for ordinary people, for everyday folks, for farmers. So I'm going to pose for just a twofold request from everybody here. Now, a while ago, maybe 30, 40 years ago, there was a movement to just change the system by how we shop. We called it voting with your dollars. And that's been kind of discredited. But here's what I want to say to you. Every day that we live on this planet, if we're not totally off the grid, if we're not raising every bit of our food, not just our tomatoes, we do in fact vote with our dollar. So I want to say to you that that is not nearly enough, but don't forget that every dollar you spend in the marketplace, who you buy from, please get out there, please use your intelligence and your energy to kick the butts of us old people and make sure that we fight for a dramatically better and dramatically different economy that would be good for people, good for communities, and good for the planet. Thank you so much.
Celebrate John Heidi!
There's something I woke up one day and realized. The bad decisions I take every subsequent choice I've made since. Suddenly, my sheltered childhood was shattered, and all I could see was how humans were destroying the planet that gave us life. I remember one night, staring at the stars, thinking how weird it is that man, who not so long ago was harmoniously within nature, as any other animal species had become entirely alien. The house I lived in, the roads, the cars, the computers, suddenly all felt unnatural and out of place. How do we return to a place, our place within the fabric of life? Once, I would have said I didn't know. I would have said we just need to be willing to do it, to make the sacrifices. This is 0 hour. It's called the climate crisis for a reason. The house is burning and we must put the fire out by building a movement that can't be ignored, that won't fizzle out when the march is over, that won't fade into the background when the youth return to school and the parents return to work. People in distant countries, or the rainforest we've only seen in pictures. This is a fight for our right to survive.
I'm a sophomore here at Virginia Tech. We are blessed with the countless opportunities that we are given here in the United States and in our Blacksburg community. We have access to clean water, electricity, stable education, transportation, and food security. We are so used to these things that we take them for granted. Yes. 2 billion people around the world live in slums, which are the most vulnerable to the effects of climate change. I see it as my duty to use my privilege and the resources available to me to use my voice and enforce climate legislation. I am passionate about rights for climate refugees, food shortages, and inequality to minorities and women. Millions of people were forced to move due to climate change. And by 2050, it is estimated that around 150 to 200 million people will have to do the same. Rising sea levels, droughts, fires, and natural disasters have displaced individuals from the place that indigenous cultures were founded on. We all currently support an institution that is actively contributing to climate change, and using a majority of fossil fuels has a lack of an efficient recycling program and is invested in fossil fuel companies. When we want all 7 billion people and some in this world supporting these messages that we support right now, we, as a part of the youth of this community in Blacksburg, Virginia, have so much potential to make a long-term change.
Back in 2014, MVP proposed a $4.6 billion high-velocity frac gas pipeline that would be 42 inches in diameter, the biggest in the U.S., and spans 303 miles from West Virginia to North Carolina. Destroying ecosystems and contributing to overall atmospheric greenhouse gas emissions. We have witnessed the injustices of the fossil fuel industry in our backyard as our friends and families struggle with losing their homes to pollution of the land and eminent domain laws. Peters Farm, Bed Mountain, and Peters Mountain, we have stood in solidarity with folks who have taken to the streets at any personal cost to themselves to defend this land. The danger these pipelines cause is tremendous. Explosions, which are inevitable, will have a 2,200 blast zone and 1.4-mile evacuation zone. Many people would defend the pipeline by claiming that it creates jobs, boosts the local economy, and provides energy to Virginians who depend on it. But MVP will only create 34 permanent jobs, 90% of temporary jobs are from out-of-state workers, and gas is intended for export. Because the fact of the matter is, the planet can't take the burning of any more fossil fuels.
25 people died because of exposure to our outdoor air quality. It kills more Americans than transportation accidents and gun shootings combined. Air quality is not something that we should take lightly, and we certainly should not be loosening restrictions here in the United States. I agree that someday the United States can have forward and innovative thinking. To through creating policy that benefits the environment and to make a change on a large scale. As a country, we have so much potential to turn this statistic around, but instead, 4.6 million people die per year because of outdoor air quality. At Virginia Tech, we can pull our support from the fossil fuel industry from divesting fossil fuels. Virginia Tech has around $110 million invested in the fossil fuel industry. Unconcerned students urge the university to immediately freeze any new investments from ownership in fossil fuel companies and these fossil fuels that are destroying our planet. Divesting is a moral principle that would show Virginia Tech as a leader in environmental support.
Adhere to the following demands. President Sands declare a state of climate emergency by signing the Global Climate Emergency Letter and by denouncing the construction of energy projects like the Mountain Valley Pipeline.
Divest from all publicly traded companies that hold coal, oil, or gas reserves.
Supply to Virginia campuses be 100% renewable sources by 2030 and be guided by principles of energy democracy.
All new university construction to be net zero emission by design.
Representatives as voting members on all bodies that make decisions concerning Virginia Tech's energy use. The university's currently outdated climate action commitment in all university issues with climate justice implications.
Virginia Tech Electric Service provides 100% of its electric supply from renewable resources by 2030.
Comprehensive outreach, extension, and research programs for renewable energy development and job training in Southwest Virginia and Appalachia.
Not stop until our demands are met and our voices are heard.
Thank you.
Give another round of applause to Heidi. Up next, we have a student, Ryan Barotti. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Ryan is a freshman studying engineering and a member of Earth House and the leadership and social change Red Central College. I want to apologize in advance for reading this off of my phone, but I wanted to save paper. I'm from Virginia Beach.
Yeah! 757! Yeah, go ahead.
4 months ago, a man shot and killed 12 people.
Oh, sorry.
Minutes from my house. He was described as a disgruntled employee. How can someone regard life so lowly? It is the most divine and beautiful gift we will ever be given. A gift we must protect at all costs. Our modern culture has lost its balance of nature. Fossil fuels are raising the temperature of the earth. Our air, water, and soil are being poisoned. Our forests are burning, and our animals and plants are going extinct. Physical and mental illnesses are normal, and mass shootings and suicide rates are at all-time highs. We are living lives more and more foreign to our nature. There must be something fundamentally wrong with our world if people don't want to live in it. Everyone knows we are destroying the planet, yet most don't question how they, as an individual, are responsible. We have become so separated from our environment that we don't notice our impact on it. We spend our time staring at screens and walls for hours every day. Instead of working to get our food from the earth around us, we buy it from people we don't know. We produce massive amounts of waste and don't have to think about it.
power our lives and processes. We are dedicated to improving the quality of life and the human condition within the Commonwealth of Virginia and throughout the world. This is the mission statement of Virginia Tech. Today, climate change is the biggest threat to the human condition, to life itself. We must realize the roles of the systems we make up, the impact of these systems on our environment, and the limits they bring our species. I believe it is our mission as a university and as a people to transcend these limits. We cannot continue marching blindly to extinction. I want to introduce a word that may be new to some of you. Permaculture, or permanent culture. A culture of thinking and living in complete harmony with nature, treating the environment as an extension of the self. This is how human beings lived for thousands of years, until now. What does that mean to us today? 100% renewable energy, 100% sustainable agriculture, zero waste and pollution, making balance the top priority by putting existence tomorrow over profit today. Realizing that we cannot survive without nature, that we are nature. Realizing, returning to our roots and to our spirit. We were born into a world with more possibilities at our fingertips than ever before. Our generation must not accept the way that things are, but dare to imagine what they could be. A conscious evolution or revolution is necessary, or life itself will end. It is time to return to permaculture. Let's get hyped. Because guess what? The high schoolers about to speak today are rolling down from Blacksburg. Three brave high schoolers. Kristen Shusha.
Thank you all for being here with us today. What you just witnessed is 25 seconds of complete silence. If our policies don't change drastically within the next few years, beginning in 2030, 250,000 innocent people will die at the hands of the cloudy emergency every year. That's 10,000 lives in every second we respect silence. 10,000 stories to end this century. All because our corporations and politicians refuse to know the right to take action against the deadly climate change. Regardless of the current lack of action by people in power, we have a responsibility to take action for our planet, our one and only home. So bottom of my heart, I want to thank you all for being here, the high school students that marched with us, the college students who helped organize this, and the community members that have showed up today to show their support. Blacksburg is our home, and your presence here proves that it is well known. It is this love that has spurred you to action, and it is this action that can change our planet for the better. It is for this change that we as a community have to continue the work that we started today. It is this change that will save lives. These changes don't just affect small-filled cities and coastal towns. The effects of climate degradation can be seen in our own backyard. Projects like the Mountain Valley Pipeline have torn through the beautiful mountainsides that I know as friends. Coal mining devastates the cities in rural Appalachia by promising prosperity, but instead leaving behind only smoke and ruin. But what can we as individuals do? In the face of corporate tyranny, it can feel as if the people that call this land home are but an afterthought to company profits, and as a result, have no real power in the matter. But this does not hold to be true. Planet-loving people, when determined, can achieve the impossible. One only needs to look as far as the tree sits off of Yellowfish Road in Toronto to know what courage and activism can do. For the past 391 days, while we are earning paychecks, spending time with our families, attending class, there are climate activists 50 feet up in trees that have put their lives on hold to defend the mountains that we call home. And as such, we all have a duty to find our trees. It is no longer acceptable to merely care about climate issues. We have to fight them. So whether your tree is an oak or a maple, a voting booth or a political office, a classroom or a student-led march, make your voice heard.
Thank you, Carson. First, I want to say that it's really incredible to see this amount of support out here. The time has come for us as a community to rise to this. Appalachia is my home. These mountains are my mountains, and fundamentally they're your mountains too. They give me life. When I hear a bird song in the morning meadow, I live. When the dawn light paints the mountains blue, I live. When I feel the water on my feet, smell the scent of the woods, I live. But living is not enough anymore. Companies like the Mountain Valley Pipeline, Dominion Energy, and Blacksburg Coal would sacrifice this life in the name of corporate profits.
Fuck the pipeline!
So I say it is time to speak up and fight back. Our mountains are being pillaged, our streams polluted, and our wildlife eradicated. You have come to stand with us today and to stand with us into the future. Our lives and the lives of the loved ones are at stake. For our life, our family, our environment, our mountains, our streams, our birds, our deer, our bear, and our home, we must speak out. Here today, we take the defining step deciding to etch our names in the annals of history. We have a chance to save our planet and our home in this, the last twilight hours of Earth's life. For today, we either begin to step towards a new dawn, or we commit ourselves and our children to an eternity of darkness. True that! Thank you. Give a little round of applause to high school! Speaker. His name is Jason Chavez. He's a graduate student in political science and a member of Native at Virginia Tech. I'm so proud of my university and my community today. Тогда Саня Бьюги, Jason Chavez, Obamacare, San Miguel Teaching, so Chipson. On our own to do it. And you must matter. Political science could be Virginia Tech. Go, Hachiki, Gary Chavez. Hachiki, Lupe Chavez. Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Jason Chavez. I am from the San Miguel community of the Daughter of the Nation in the Cook District. I'm a student in the political science department here at Virginia Tech. My father's name is Gary Chavez. My mother's name is Lupe Chavez. And thank you for allowing me to introduce myself to you in the awesome language.
as often we are taught to introduce not just ourselves, but our families as well. To remember where you came from. The Bon Alta Nation is located in present-day southern Arizona. Our traditional homelands once extended south to present-day Hermosillo, Mexico. East to the San Pedro River. West to the Sea of Cortez. And north to Phoenix, Arizona. We are fortunate in that we still inhabit the land that we have since time immemorial in the Sonoran Desert of southern Arizona. This is the place where our culture is founded. This is the place where our stories and our songs are based. Unlike many indigenous peoples in the United States and in Canada, we were never forcibly removed from our homeland. The colonial mindset that encountered my ancestors saw no value in the land. The desert could not be of use to them.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
They didn't recognize the inherent value
Another
that is in the land. Indeed, us all of them have thrived in a place where white people didn't want to live. Climate change is going to create more places like that, right?
Yeah.
The places that don't fit our idea of what a good place to live means. Now, we started off today with Dr. High, acknowledging the lands that we are on. I also heard that there's some folks that think this is leftist propaganda. I don't know if you heard about that. But what does it mean to acknowledge the land? It does not excuse the responsibility that we have to the land. I hope this tour group sees what an awesome university Virginia Tech is. Folks, it is our duty to treat this planet not as a commodity, but as we would treat our brother and our sister. When we talk about sustainability, we often talk about our need to preserve natural resources. The planet is not a resource. That is still in a colonial worldview. Now here at Virginia Tech, we have one of the best colleges of natural resources in the nation. But yet every day the crisis worsens. To solve this, we're going to need more than just the tough minds here at Virginia Tech, some of whom I'm fortunate to call my friends. So to my friends, and to all of you, my new friends, I'm calling on you today to look to that which is not learned in the classroom. I'm calling on you to look to the traditional wisdom of indigenous peoples. I'm calling on you to embrace this worldview because the planet is not a product. In this way, we can face this climate crisis and be sure that we are good stewards to this planet, our temporary home. So thank you all so much. I'm so proud of you. You all are doing great. Let's go Hokies! Beautiful. So, we have a special guest joining us right now. This is really going to bring out the youth of Blacksburg I couldn't be more proud of this young man give a speech up here today. I would like to let everyone give a round of applause to this brave 8th grader.
On the west coast of Canada, called Victoria. It's a beautiful town, located on an island. But in the summer of 2015, I noticed black and gray wisps in the sky. At first I thought they were clouds. Then the sky turned red. It was at that point I realized it was a fire. I bet all of you have heard about the California wildfires. They've been going on every year, for years. But that year, they went up and down the west coast, from San Diego, California, to Delta Junction, Alaska, a distance of almost 3,000 miles. Victoria's air quality was one of the worst in the world. You couldn't even go outside, it was so bad. But, as much as we can try, we cannot address these fires, hurricanes, droughts, or this crisis without overturning the way we think. This capitalist system in which we live has bent our world around the absurd notion of a GDP. Next year, the American GDP will be around a 2% increase every year. In 50 years, that will be more than double what we are producing currently. And that is just one country. It is nonsensical to have an economic system built on endless growth on a finite planet. The U.S. produces 30% of the world's waste. In 2015, it produced 262.4 million tons of solid garbage. And so much of that goes to countries like the Philippines and Malaysia. This goes to show that rich countries can get away with polluting and harming the earth, while countries in the global south face the impact of our consequences. The reason we have had constant inaction on climate change is because of big names and CEOs like the Koch brothers. These people are the ones pushing back most intensely against climate action, because they know if strong climate policies are put in place in the U.S. and the world, they will not be able to pollute the earth and make millions off of it. So, as much as this international strike will make a difference, one strike is not enough. We only have 11 years left to stop carbon emissions.
Yeah, the New River Valley Green. Give it up!
Y'all hear me? So my name is Brian Leastock, and until recently I was a student here at Virginia Tech. I have the privilege of graduating today. And during the years that I was here, I was nothing but disappointed with the university and its action on climate, or rather the lack thereof. As the previous speaker mentioned, right now over $100 million of the university's endowment is invested in fossil fuels. Excuse for that. Just yesterday, the University of California divested over $150 million from fossil fuels. It's important to find specific ways to go about making that change happen. It's good to have everybody here, but there needs to be concrete action that gets taken. Last year, working with the Greens here at Virginia Tech, we got both the Student Government Association and the Graduate Student Association to pass resolutions condemning the university's investment in fossil fuels and asking them to make a complete divestment. And this year, we're going to get the Faculty Senate and the Staff Senate to make the same demand. Let's join us in a meeting on Tuesday at 6 Flight 238. And I'll also shout out to some of the other groups that have been at the front line of this. Preserve Montgomery, Preserve Giles, Preserve Floyd, Preserve Franklin Group, in the landowners in the path of the pipeline, directly affected by the climate crisis and by the emphasis on fossil fuel infrastructure and profits over people. Support the three municipalities who are right now the best line of defense we have against the pipeline. Take every opportunity. Thank you, and I know working
I was on the bench up there.
actually make a world worth living in. Virginia Tech, Blacksburg High School, Blacksburg, the town of Blacksburg, and anyone else who's made the trip here. You guys ready to march?
Yeah, I know. What it was like to put together with it.
Celebrity march. Not the one after that. Yeah. Thank you very much.
I better get a picture of that.
Woo! Woo!
It's only my favorite.
Oh, there's Carol.
We went to the Women's March. Gabriel and this little boy.
Be aware. Keep an eye out for her.
How are you?
No more coal. No more oil. Keep our carbon in the soil. No more coal. No more oil. Keep our carbon in the soil. No more coal.
Now! What do we want? Climate justice! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Keep your carbon in the soil! No more coal! No more oil! Keep your carbon in the soil! No more coal! No more oil! Keep your carbon in the soil! No more coal! No more oil! Keep your carbon in the soil! No more coal! No more oil! Keep your carbon in the soil! Keep your carbon in the soil! No more coal! No more oil! Keep your carbon in the soil! No more oil! Keep your carbon in the soil! No more coal! No more oil! Keep your carbon in the soil! And when we got digested, there was no follow-up. Not possibly represent a body students have been trying from at least 2012 to have this university divest from fossil fuels. We've done petitions, we've had meetings just like this, and we've had no announcement, no cooperation from the legislators, and that's 7 years now. And the climate action commitment was written in 2009. As far as we know, it hasn't been edited since like 2013. So that's a long time with issues with our Amazon rainforest burning, with the recycling that we have here on campus.
I understand that you are frustrated, and what I want to tell you is that we haven't been presented myself to individuals who are really interested.
Okay.
We welcome the conversation. Look forward to that.
How about my ask this? When President Sands is back, is it possible to schedule a meeting with us and him to discuss this further, since we are not able to do so today?
The answer to that question is yes. So he has committed a meeting to me.
Okay.
So obviously that's going to depend on
Tell us what he's saying! Yeah, can you speak up?
Can I ask
We want to hear what you're saying!
that, like, honestly, as
Speak to the people!
opinion standpoint, what is your honest, like, feeling about the stance of the university? Are you proud of the way that the university is handling its energy? Are you proud of the effect that it's having?
I'm not going to respond to that at this time because I'm not fully aware of the strategy. I would anticipate.
This doesn't seem what democracy looks like.
Speak into the bullhorn!
So, thank you. I appreciate your passion and your enthusiasm. And as I said, welcome the conversation.
Okay, we will meet with the both of you in a week.
Well, I don't know whether I'll be there because it's
If not, we'll be back, all of us here to greet you again.
We want justice! 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 We want justice!
Verdict that we got is President Sands is actually in a meeting today, which we previously knew. We have been guaranteed a meeting with the few of us up here in a week with President Sands. We will work and we will fight and we will get the university to meet our demands.
And we will keep
not
coming
stop.
back until they accept our demands.
Bottom of my heart for coming out and supporting this wonderful cause today.
Thank you.
You all inspire me and you all make the Blacksburg community whole. Thank you.
Okay, so you guys are welcome to say, and if there's anything that you would like to say in front of the group, now is your chance. We'll try to stay a little quieter than we were out there, but if anybody has anything they want to say,
Let's
now's
send
your
a
chance.
loud message to President Sands. So we're going to say what do we want, climate justice, when we want it now. If we don't get it, we will shut it down. What do we want?
Climate justice!
We want it.
Now!
We don't get it.
Shut it down!
Does anyone want to come up and speak in the mic? Make sure to introduce yourself just so then we understand your background and where you're coming from. My name is President Velez, and I will be the first ever Latinx homecoming candidate. My family is from Puerto Rico, where Hurricane Maria hit in 2017. I've seen the sea levels rise, I've seen the plastic wash up on our beaches. I've seen natural disasters hit my island more than anyone else. I've seen it hit my family, I've seen how it hurts families. Over 4,000 people died, and that is a result of our president that let them die. And it is my goal this year that as an environmental awareness, education, promoting campaign, that we make a difference and we educate the people on how they can make a difference. Because there are 30,000 students at this school and we can make a difference. So thank you guys for being here.
With the administration to make change. We are the university, and they rely on us for everything. This is only the beginning, and we cannot stop until change is made.
Hey everybody, this is amazing. I just wanted to mention one thing that has to be spoken about today. So I'm going to start with a story. So yesterday in Afghanistan, 30 farm workers working on a pine nut farm were killed by a US drone. Okay? Now this might not seem immediately relevant, but it should be, because we're not just saving the planet for privileged people. There's people who've been dying for centuries from the system that is producing climate change. Okay? A minimum of 30 Afghan pine nut farmers are dead yesterday from a US drone. We should be outraged. We should be demanding divestment from the military-industrial complex immediately as well. Who is the world's largest emitter? The US military, since 2001. Why do we not speak about this? We cannot be afraid to name it. Otherwise, we're not addressing anything. The wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Yemen, all of these require fueling of massive jets that drop 1,000-pound bombs on some of the poorest people on planet Earth. This must be integrated into this movement, otherwise I don't know what we're doing. Thank you.
I'm so proud of you young people. I was here as a sophomore when Kent State happened, and we closed this college down. But we didn't finish the job, unfortunately, after the Vietnam War was over. And here we are, 40 years later. And I want you to go out and tell your friends, every one of you, tell your friends, we can fill up this drill field next time. We got to keep up the fight. If you want to come out to the tree sits and see some beautiful people giving up their lives right now to protect us all, come see me, I'll give you directions. So keep up the fight, don't give up. Go tell your friends, tell everybody. I'll have a PA for you next time. We'll draw them in. Thank you. I'm Michael Montoya. I'm a junior environment horticulture. And you know, it just really, I just want to say I'm so happy to see so many other people and like-minded people coming out here. I just have a quick announcement. Please just don't leave your signs on the ground. Obviously that's counterintuitive. So, you know, still, you know, love this earth and love this land, and just please don't litter while we're here, because, you know, that's not what we stand for the march. All right, love y'all, love what we stand for.
This is Emily. We started a project around Earth Day called Earth Day Pebble Post, and we're trying to write our representatives, and we have some letters here that you guys can sign on to related to climate change, alternative energy, and also single-use plastics. And so anyone that would like to sign on to them, we have a whole bunch of them, and we'll just let you have one, and if you have questions, we're happy to answer them, and we deliver them on bicycle to the state representatives that are up for election, Chris Hurst and Senator John Edwards. Out here.
Blacksburg high school students, Auburn high school students, VT Tech, VT students, and just community members from Blacksburg coming out here and just making such a big impact. Because as we all know, the earth is slightly going downhill.
A little bit?
So,
A little bit?
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit, all right.
So I want to thank you all for protecting the future and my home. Thank you.
We want to open an invite to the community. Starting sometime soon, we're going to put more information out on it, and we're still working at the kinks. But we want to start Fridays for Future protests, where every Friday we can do shifts or we can do half day. We're still thinking about it. Doing shifts, sitting either in front of President Sand's office or sitting. But protesting for the university and the town to make strides towards more environmentally friendly options for energy, for our resources that we use. So follow Climate Strike Blacksburg if you want any more information on that on Instagram. We'll be posting about that there. So just FYI. like the water, gonna shut this crisis down. Hear the voice of my great granddaughter sing climate justice.
Okay, you want to explain a little bit about what you're doing here today?
So we're high school students. We're 2 of 5 organizers, and we're just really glad that this had such a great turnout. We're trying to work really well with tech students and high school students to make a community effort to let SANS know that we're not going to let climate change and coal companies rule us.
And you know, I think our real objective today was to rally as many students as we possibly could. And we conducted a 3-mile march to get here and join our peers at Virginia Tech. And I think we were all really hoping to make a statement to both the university and the town of Blacksburg about what it means to actually have responsible climate policy, and to send a statement to the greater government institutions in our country in general that youth are here, we're ready to fight for climate change, and we're ready to fight for solutions, and we're not going back down easy.
Absolutely.